Hi, welcome to the stream. Today we got a great match going. I'm your caster, Anson, and we've also got here Jameson. Jameson, say hi.
Hey.
We have an amazing match. It's between Tactic Fueler and, I quote, the 720 spin tingle wall jump bounce double deluxe slider whammy with the side of fries for $6.99 Diner Party Edition. Two amazing teams, and it's going to be an amazing match. To start off, this is fire. Fine, I can read.
Yeah. If you don't know, this is an off-meta tourney with a bunch of bans. So.
Which means my mains are not going to be played, except for maybe Luna Blaster.
You main Luna Blaster? Oh, that'd be hype to see.
That's like one of mine. It's like something I've been playing recently, but I mainly play Splash and Splattershot.
Oh yeah, we're glad to have those gone though.
Yes, I'm glad to not see them. As earlier in SAC, we saw it a ton. So it's gonna be a great change of pace today. Just waiting for the teams to ready up here before we start this amazing match. Jameson, what are your thoughts on what do you expect to see coming out here?
Well, I mean, in the last tournament, teams really had it figured out by the end of the tournament when they were playing for like first and second. We saw like one crab weapon, like L3 or Splat Dualies, and then the most popular pick was probably Nautilus. So we'll probably see that a lot.
Yeah, I hope we do see it. Nautilus is a fun weapon. Really great movement on that heavy, and Viper. I'm surprised we've seen Viper. Well, actually, I'm not surprised. Vipers on both sides.
I totally forgot about the 96 and DF Charger. They're gonna be super popular picks.
Yeah, the new 96 having that wall and the ZNF Charger having that wall as well means we basically still do have the 52 gal on board.
Yeah.
For these teams.
When you Splash. So both Kraken weapons are available. We all know how that is.
I hope we see Kraken Roller, because that will just show how fun this special can be used in tournament.
Yeah, Tactor feel off to a strong start. That's happened to zone already. In complete control. But one player going down to a special bomb, and with these drinks going in, 720 spin tingle wall jump. Probably has a big push coming.
Yeah, 720 spin tingle wall jump. Getting zone there, it's a little bit contested, and as soon as I say it, Tactic Feeler takes it back. It seems like it's going to be a very back and forth map here on Splat Zones.
Yeah, but two specials coming out from 720 spin tingle wall jump. Already recapping it and pushing Tactic Feeler back in their spawn. Well, and another two picks in the side for 720 spin tingle wall jump. Continuing the push and actually counting here.
I'm looking here, and it looks like, you know, really good control coming out from 720 spin tingle wall jump. It really looks like Tactic Feeler is having trouble getting. Is bounce okay? Is that a
bounce? He was in their spawn just a second ago carrying it up.
He must have had to itch his nose or something. Surely.
No, he knows something.
Surely we don't have a DC on our hands this early on. We're not getting Splatooned already.
Clearly, this is part of their plan. See, they already recapped them, even though bounce wasn't there.
Even with that questionable bounce, you know, didn't quite hit the wall there. He's back. Yeah, no, we're not worried. He you know, itches his nose or something. It's looking very convincing coming out here from 720 spin tingle wall jump.
Yeah, too.
First map already. 720 spin tingle wall jump bounce double deluxe slider whammy with the slide of fries for $6.99 Dinner Party Edition, showing us that they're not just a joke team despite their name.
Yeah, you could say bounce really bounced back there. Haha, funny.
That is funny.
I mean, Bounce was really playing when he was playing.
He really was playing until the moment he stopped, but we don't talk about that. That never happened.
No. Yeah, he was just in their spawn, in their hallway, basically trying to push flat. Backed up for 2 seconds and stopped playing, and then immediately started playing again. And got like a double, too.
really showing what the new 96 gal is really useful for. Really bringing it out to its full potential. We didn't see much Kraken, but we didn't need to because 720 was really showing how well they knew that new Mako Mart there.
Yeah, I mean, Mako Mart without E-Leader or like Crab is actually kind of fun to watch. It's not
Yes,
just
I see. I think that's why we see the ZNF charger being brought here. E-Leader is normally played a lot on this map, on Mako and or in Crab as well.
Yeah,
Because backline is so important on that map, and teams have to improvise here. And you know that ZNF charger was, you know, we thought we might see a Nautilus, but instead we get the ZNF charger really being able to post up on the really good spots with that wall, and really doesn't have to worry all too much about getting flanked.
yeah.
Because Mako Mart.
We also saw the Hydra come out on the side of Tactifuler, I think. Also probably hoping to take care of take advantage of the E-Leader ban, but just ultimately got outplayed probably. And pushed in really far by 720 spin tickle jump.
Let me see here. It looks like the heavy isn't banned, which is awesome. So we have all chargers, or not chargers, splat links. On
Yeah,
board
we made
here
that
for
in
this.
the last tournament. Last tournament we had them banned, but Nautilus was the only one that was there, so that's probably why it was picked a lot. Ballpoint Wet I also think unbanned. My Hydra coming out, getting the chance to shine by the E-Leader is really nice.
See, as you were saying before, there's only one new weapon ban, and that is the Neo Splash-O-Matic. As we've seen in previous tournaments recently, that Neo splashes. I mean, with the triple ink strike, it's super oppressive. But there are still triple ink strike. You know, they could bring out the Brella. The Brella's
Yeah,
always there.
Ink Strike being the special that it is, I can see why.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
We've been informed of some dubious information.
I guess is an interesting way to put it.
But both teams are, you know, they're playing it out here. Really interesting comps from both sides.
Yeah, we can just bench them into, you know, it's fine. Tactical are going 3 down here. Yeah, 720 wall jump really taking advantage here. Get on their flat, pushing this tower. Hammer Stamper coming out too. I'm commentating this match, but I think it's going to be canceled very soon.
Yes, we have been informed that this match should be canceled.
All good. It's not. It's like there's only 10 minutes left in the match time.
He's fine.
It's fine. Just a silly mistake. Well, their cops kind of got leaked there. If you want to talk about that, ZF Charger made a comeback. Wiper.
I'm gonna tell you something. Stream was down on my end.
Oh yeah, I had to open the Twitch stream.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? Oh my god, it's such a simple fix. But
you have the streamer awards open.
because I have the streamer awards open. I've got it muted as well.
No, I got the streamer awards open too. You're not alone.
No, I closed the tab.
I had it minimized, but yeah, it's open.
Let me pull up the stream. Anyways, after that, nothing happened. You know, everything's going on as normal.
Silly mistakes. Oh, it's fine. The match is canceled, so I don't think it matters.
They just play all 3. Okay. Splat zones on Founders.
Flounder.
I know how to English.
No, same for sure.
Definitely.
Splatzone's fun. I hate that map. Just being blunt. I guess
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I didn't want to come out with that opinion, but I'm gonna have to agree with you.
I'm a little biased.
Bounce is all your fault. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
It's fine. It should be fun to watch though. I don't like playing on it, but it should be fun to watch.
Are we Wiguchi. Anyways, let's talk about. So there is a challenge comp here. You know, a prize forever, I believe, wins with the comp, if I'm right. And it's a pretty interesting one. It's a Snipe Rider, Tentombrella, Clash Blaster Neo, and the L3 Nuzzle Nose.
Oh yeah, we try to
Pretty
include
interesting team comp that the challenge comp is. While we talk about this, Snipe Rider hasn't seen much use. I don't think ever. Like not since like maybe like a week after its release.
It wasn't the previous challenge comp. So
in all of my Ludi watches and tournaments, I don't think I've seen a Snipe Rider come out. Definitely not meta. 100% not meta.
100%
and we all know why Tentombrella isn't played.
I mean, it's Tentombrella. Who really wants to play Tentombrella?
Have you seen? There's a clip of I believe it's in Salmon Run, of a dude opening his Tentombrella and it just goes flying into the sky.
Oh yeah, there's so many of them.
there's still bugs. I'm pretty sure it's an old clip, but there's still a lot of bugs.
No, you could. Have you seen the clip where like you pull it out and it sends the Kraken through the floor?
No way.
Yeah, if
I've not seen that. That's insane.
It's the ultimate Kraken counter.
It's the only Kraken counter. Tentombrella bug. Who knew that the bugginess of the Tentombrella could be used as a weapon?
Its glitchiness counteracts like the.
Colors are swapped. Okay, so thank you. Anyway, so we're going to Flounder Heights, Splat Zones. Mint, I'm gonna shoot you a DM. Be right back. Anyways, as we're coming in here to Flounder Heights, Splat Zones. I thought I had the stream open. Oh my god. Professional commentator here. We're gonna see a Carbon Jr. coming out. That interesting. I saw that being used a lot when it had come out. It really fell off, but it's a lot more brawly of a weapon. And with that wave breaker, it's pretty useful on zones and stuff.
I mean, I'm more interested in the YouTuber pick from.
Look, my charger main will always be Gucci. The YouTuber is a good weapon. Trust me.
Their name is 720 Steam from the Wall Jump. I'm expecting to be at least one.
Yes. And we see that. I believe that's a Hydra. Yeah, we see the Hydra come out. Booyah is so useful on the side of 720 Spin Tingle Wall Jump. But he dies. You know, 2 go down on the side of 720, and Tactic Fueler are able to, you know, take mid, which is really important on Flounder with the amount of elevation. They get the high ground. Not only do they get zones, they get a really powerful high ground.
Yeah, I mean, this game was pretty even at the start, but with Tactic Fueler taking the mid like this, I don't know if 720 can push back in here.
They're trying their best. You know, we're seeing a lot of the Stamp coming out on the side of Tactic to try to lock down zone. I was trying to say we're seeing a lot of torpedoes, and the torpedo is what actually takes out one of the members of Tactic Fueler. 1 down on both sides. It looks, yeah, 720 Spin Tingle has taken this, and they look like, I was about to say they look like they're going to keep it, but Tactic Fueler are showing that they want to let zones flip without a fight.
Yeah, Tactic Fueler really fighting back now that the wave break has ended. They can really try and push back in here. And getting a pick as well, 2 picks onto 720.
We're seeing a really good use, great snipe from the YouTuber. We're seeing a great use from that C Junior of the middle part, the little trench in this site, in between those zones, to really like pop up and down, be a little, make the enemies play whack-a-mole instead of having a clear sight line. Really great map knowledge coming out from these teams. It's what expected of this level. But as I'm saying that, Tactic Feeler has taken zone again.
Yeah, but I just noticed that 720 is running a triple torpedo comp. So they're really
Yes,
playing basketball.
this is Torpedo Mania, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But who's not loving it is Yuri, who just died to an Ultra Stamp down spawn. And that's gonna set back, I was gonna say that's gonna set back 720, and it indeed does. Tactic Feeler keeping control of zone. Viper trying to do all it can. And it does a lot. Managing to get zone, they're going to start working towards Tactic Feeler's zone, and they get it. That gives a really important Punisher on the side of 720.
Oh, wait, Tactic Feeler remember DC. So
Oh. Well, that could also be it. You know.
I think with the rules in place, they could play it out. But maybe...
I believe rules in place, I know Ludi rules, I believe, is under 30 points.
Well, 720 also have their own DC now. So it's an even match.
DC on both sides, it's an even match. An honorable DC coming out of 720. As we see, this has now turned into... Shucks, I forgot 3v3 games.
I mean,
well, it's a 3v3.
Feedback. Oh, they almost do it, but I think that's the wipeout onto them. 720 already pushing back in.
What a stamp snipe coming out from the side of Tactic. Really showing that a member down, they can still take zone. I believe on the side of Tactic, it's not their backline, it must be one of their Slayers that's down, and on the side of 720 is their C Junior that's been DC'd.
Oh, it's so unfortunate for 720. They needed
yeah,
that.
He's got that torpedo, and that wave break is so good for taking back point, but members are going down. The Hydra gets killed. That's 2 down on the side of Tactic.
Wait, despite that,
and this might just be zone at the last second, going towards 720 spin, and as long as they get this, it cause overtime to happen. Booyah coming out, trying to get that paint there, but it's not enough. Tactic Feeler, showing their might here on this stage. Really showing that the it was their map to win, and yeah.
Yeah, I guess their tenacity really coming out here because they had the DC first.
They did have the DC first. Now, I believe it is all tied up on the side of Tactic Feeler and 720 spin. That was their tiebreaker. Ah. Okay, I just read your message, Lamau. So that is...
Tactic Feeler wins their set.
Tactic Feeler wins the set.
Congrats to them. Their comps are... interesting. I don't really remember.
Interesting comps coming from both sides. It's always nice to, we're gonna see Wiper. I expect to see Wiper all day.
Yeah, for sure. I think
hands down the Wiper's gonna come out. But we're seeing a little the difference in backlines. ZNF Splat Charger coming out in the first map, and then in that second map, Hydra's coming out on both sides. Really makes my tier list where I put Hydra on S tier, actually look decent. That wasn't a bad choice. I promise.
Well, this is the off meta tourney. I don't know about S tier.
I might have it was made this back when the Booyah nursed the machine. I was like, oh, machine's gonna die as the Booyah weapon. And boy was I wrong.
God.
Boy, was I wrong.
I haven't seen Machine that much anymore, but it's still popular.
It's still popular, of course. Deserving of the ban in this tournament.
Oh, I forgot of the ban.
Okay, so I've been informed that we will be right back. We're waiting for the next match. It'll be starting soon. Do we know what teams it are? Welcome back to the stream. We got another match coming up for you. This one's going to be a fun one. Don't you think, Jameson?
Yeah, we were just told these guys are really good.
They are really good. I expect to see these teams way later down the line as we start out on a new map set. This will be at... I'm going to have to figure out how to pronounce this.
Take your time.
Timbit versus... I'm still figuring out how to... Ataraxia?
Ataraxia? That rolls off the tongue.
You know what? Yeah, you get to be called that. That's your new... I don't care if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Anyways.
They should just come tell us.
Some good teams here. Some interesting maps that are going to be coming up. Of course. Gotta love the maps. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any Mahi. I am crying. But we do have Hagglefish, Eeltail, and Mako in the pool. Which, good maps. Except Hagglefish. I don't like Hagglefish. But we won't talk about that.
You don't like Hagglefish? How could this be?
I always lose on it. It's definitely not a skill issue.
Oh no, it's map's fault. You always blame the map, or your controller, or your team.
I always blame my Joy-Cons, of course.
You play Joy-Cons?
I play on Joy-Cons. I broke my Pro controller, okay?
No! The drift!
The drift. I got new Joy-Cons and they haven't drifted, but you know, it's been a week.
Yeah,
you never know.
2 weeks. Give it a week and a day.
In a week, I'll be complaining about how they drift again.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Looks like we're getting into the match here. It's going to be... We're going to have some interesting teams on an interesting map. Yeah, it is Tower...
Another map where Crab is really popular.
Rainmaker on Hagglefish Market. And Wiper, as we said, Wiper coming out on both sides. That ZNF, I believe, coming out. No, that's a normal Splat Charger from Neppy over there on the side of Timbits.
Ataraxia running the ZNF Charger, though. We'll see how this plays out.
Seen some old comps, like the Junior coming back with Timbits. And it looks like the Dually Squelchers and the Splat Dualies, if I'm seeing that right. Double Dualies on the side of Ataraxia.
Oh yeah, that's Splat Dualies definitely for the Crab.
Yeah. Crab not gonna... You know, it survived one game of being shown, but it's not gonna survive two. And the Wiper, Satsuki going insane, just pushing, holding W to be precise.
Already getting a huge lead here.
Getting it all the way down to 12 before they go 2 down here, maybe 3 down. And Ataraxia will look to reset and push back to mid. There's that third down, hella delayed. Satsuki, this mad lad, and he's done it.
I can't believe it.
No way. He just stole that right under their nose.
I thought Ataraxia did a really good job at clearing out all the areas, but there were 2 players still there. And just
I was about to say, Ataraxia, you know, taking back mid, doing a really good job here. They're gonna, you know, reset it, and it's anyone's game still, you know, a great lead, but then just an amazing play from the Wiper, just sneaking in behind and like a thief in the night, taking away the Rainmaker from Timbits, from Ataraxia.
Yeah, Ataraxia was just in a great position to get another push in after that lead from Timbits, but Timbits says no. They just knock him out. Game over.
That was I'm still shocked.
Yeah. I'm not even ready to move on to the next match. Like, what happened?
What happened? Well, next map will probably be Clan Blitz on E-Tail, as I'm looking at the map list. You know, Clan Blitz is, you know, it's an interesting mode. Always been the black sheep of Splatoon. An Eeltail is also referred to as not that good of a map.
Yeah. We'll have to see if like Kraken shows up here. You see that one Twitter clip going around. Oh, and there's the Kraken spot where we were talking about earlier.
There is the Kraken roller. It is here. We thought it died in Splatoon 1.
It's back.
It's back. And it's hungry for revenge. But you know what else is hungry? The ZNF charger for a splat right here. Really poking and pulling at mid. But it doesn't really help. Ataraxia is 2 down. Only being able to take the wiper off of Timbits, and you know, already Timbits scoring.
And Timbits already getting their freaking answer bomb before
It's
like
Kraken on both sides, isn't it? No, I'm blind. I'm dumb.
The Kraken spot really looking forward to going down.
I was so excited to see it.
That's 3 down.
3 down on the side of Timbits, but they managed to get 53 points now. They're bringing it down to 47, and Ataraxia is still dying in mid. You'd think they'd have mid control after a triple wipe, but they're still getting pushed. Neppy, that crack on pushing so far, getting 1 then dying.
Yeah, they got so far in there.
Ataraxia is like, they're having really a lot of trouble getting control of mid again. Timbits is just oppressive. 2 down on the side of Ataraxia. The bubble coming up. The junior just doing what it does best, popping bubble for itself and itself only. Getting that power clam in. It's just gonna be more points on the side of Timbits.
Yeah, especially if Ataraxia just put 2 down. So bad in clam with. He's gonna get all the clams in here. 3 down now here too.
Just like lambs to the slaughter, it seems. You know, Timbits, they want this win.
Yeah, I think they want another knockout here. Just chasing this DF charger all the way back down. Pushing them away from the flat as their teammates score and get the knockout.
What a game.
Timbits really showing us their aggression, huh?
Timbits showing that they're here to win. They really, you know, just some amazing maps, some amazing prowess. They feel like they're on a whole nother level right now.
Yeah, I mean, that junior just walked, like with new map changes, you can't go into the spot. So they just walked across the glass and chased down the charger. The only remaining
They should have gotten away with that. We've been informed that actually we've been praising the wrong team.
Oops.
Oops.
Oops. Silly mistake.
I take back what I said about Timbits being in another league. Apparently it's Ataraxia.
Ataraxia.
Showing us that they're on a whole nother, you know, league.
Our apologies, Ataraxia.
My apologies.
Okay, so the colors are swapped, but the wins are correct.
Yes. All right, and now we're gonna go into our third map, Splat Zones on Nakamart. We saw this earlier, unfortunately, and we saw that it was a lot more back and forth, and it was, you know, at that time it was 720. Yeah, I gotta say it. The 720 spin, tingle, wall jump, bounce, double deluxe, slider win with the slider fries for $6.99 dinner party edition. Just showed that once they got that aggression rolling, they were able to lock out Tactifueler. And it's all about what weapons Ataraxia brings here to just not allow Timbits to get mid again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not allow those zones to flip, because it's so... It seems, from what we've seen, that it's really easy to flip this zone.
Yeah, I mean, Ataraxia has had no trouble being aggressive in the last 2 games, so I expect...
Try Slasher. That's what I'm saying.
I like
Say try Slasher.
Oh, the new one, too!
The new one as well with the... Interesting. I thought we were going to get the vanilla.
Oh, they're definitely running it down.
They are so running it down.
Just
Very
drinking a lot.
aggressive
I like
comp
it.
coming out here from
Oh, the Timbits
Timbits.
Viper plate already caught out.
Yes, the wiper plate already called out. Looks like the zone hasn't been flipped, 50-50 on both sides, and here comes the sodas.
Soda and the wave break. They're walking up into here. Oh, but it's
It really
Ataraxia
doesn't matter.
bubble.
I believe Ataraxia gets the zone there. And oh wow, that tri-slosh just showing how powerful it is as a main weapon, getting to their flipping zone again.
Walking
And now
around.
I believe it's Timbits with the lead.
Yeah, and they have more drinks. They can get to play super aggressive like you said on Mike here.
More soda, it looks like a chug fest, but the Kraken. What?
Walking at that
Getting the kill, I believe, in midair.
Yeah, doing the Kraken for getting that kill. The Kraken does not care.
But it seems like Timbits doesn't really care here as they look to take back zone again. And they do. Not allowing Ataraxia to get the lead here. A completely different showing from these past two maps.
Yeah, it's actually Timbit's the one who has the aggression here. And Ataraxia is the one who has to play defensive as they walk into these drinks, these fizzies.
Definitely, but as we've seen from Ataraxia, you know, they're good at taking back mid. And they now have point. And this could be it for Timbits.
And
But
no penalty, and 2 down for both sides. I mean, this lead can turn into something huge depending on who gets
2
back
down
first.
for both sides. Let's see what Bray can get here on this V Junior. I forgot to say it, but we see a Forge Pro coming out on the side of Ataraxia as well.
I would imagine that's like the machine replacement for most.
The machine replacement. Yeah.
Not exactly. But
The Wiper doing Wiper things. Timbits really showing that their Wiper players up to par.
yeah, fighting that charge is out of position.
Really showing why you need a Wiper on an off-meta team. Kraken doing what it does best. Still doing what it does best as it pushes into spawn. Ataraxia might take the lead back here. We'll see about the Punisher. Just another down on the side of Timbits.
I mean, this Kraken roller just walked through the NAV team. I mean, the bubble came out and they came out swinging, getting 2 and then chasing down that last player. And now they're just sitting in the flat. Like, there's nothing they can do about this.
There's very little Timbits can do, and especially not much as the Kraken comes out. It is time to feast. A beast has been awoken.
Just finding the player with the beast. Well,
Neppy doesn't manage to get one, but manages to get out at least. It is 10 points left.
Neppy has been alive for this whole last like 50 points. Just like sharking everywhere, getting all the picks and at least the knockout.
We thought that was going to be better. To be frank, we really did.
I mean, it was. It wasn't the Rainmaker.
It was definitely better. But Timbits still unable to get the win.
Yeah, once that Kraken roller player got the momentum, it was over. I mean, they put the bubble down, came back, and walked in there, got 2 picks, chased that person down and left, and stayed there.
Kraken really showing its strength here. Definitely, we're going to see more of it later on in this tournament. We all know this.
Oh, I sure hope so. There's no splashes to really like outbox it with burst bombs and kill power.
There's none. There is no splash-matic on the board here. There cannot be. And with that, Kraken will rule the day, hopefully. It's fun.
You do just lose the game if you...
A 3-0. A 3-0 coming out on the side of Ataraxia. You know, it was a dominant performance every single match, you know, except for the last one was pretty much a clean sweep. And that will be all for this match. We're going to be right back. Next match will be coming soon for round 3 matches.
Alright, welcome back to the fifth off-meta tourney. We had a nice, good match here. Fruity versus Splatsville Idol Group.
Yes, an enjoyable match. A delectable, sweet treat, if you will. This is going to be a fun one. We're getting one of the new maps. Well, not really new, but new in Splatoon 3 at least. Coming up in our first map of this match.
Yeah, it's power control on Manta Maria. Really interesting to see what teams pull out into it. Because there isn't really a meta anyway.
I want to see the chomps.
Oh, B2 actually. Chumps would be so funny in this map. You just jump into the bunker, just like walk in.
I just want to cast somebody chumping. There, I've done it. I said the funny word. Anyways.
Chump in.
Chumping. Chump in.
Chump.
Chump time.
Chump time. Would you rather see the Clash Blaster or the MZF?
I mean, I believe the Clash Blaster Neo is one of the challenge comps.
Oh, it's so true. It's part of the challenge comp. That's right.
It is part of the challenge comp. It's a way to see Clash Blaster Neo, you know, jump all over the place.
Yeah, along with Snipe Rider and Tent Umbrella and L3D.
But we're not seeing that. We're seeing double ink brush on the side of Fruity.
Oh, these greats are gonna be so funny.
Oh, there's a different ones.
See that Tri-Brush Nuvo again in this match as well.
Crack on.
And the crack on Flat Roller.
Yeah, it looks like teams are willing to bring the Splat Dualies as the alternative to the Splash here. Understandable. It's got okay paint. You know, it's nothing near the Splash level, but it will get that crab.
Yeah, lots of teams in the last tournament as well are going for the L3D and Splat Dualies just for the crab. Well, as I'm saying that, Fruit T goes 3 down when we just their brush and Rapid Blaster responding. And the Rapid Blaster getting chased into the corner as well by 2 different members. The Roller picking up the kill and Kraken in front of them.
Absolutely livid. That Kraken is going to just stall for so long.
Get the checkpoint as well. Kraken finally goes into the bunker, finding another stick onto the brush, and getting paid up by the bomb. That's 3 down again on the side of Fruity. A huge chance for Splatoon to make this.
Fruity's just not finding an avenue in, and it's just a really good job from Splatsville to lock them out, use the high and low ground here. You know, Manta Maria is now like a really it's not a flat map at all. And I feel like Splatsville are playing around that. And Fruity just isn't taking advantage. As soon as I say that, though, 2 from Fruity, the ink brushes jump off the high ground and take back tower.
Oh yeah, these brushes are starting to run around like they want to. Even in this like sea of blue, they can do whatever they want. Run at people and splat them. Rapid Blast looking at some picks too, but Splatoon, I didn't find the pick, and the tower's moving that way again.
Good equalizing trades. Good equalizing trades, but it doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't.
Oh. Shoot out on both sides, but the tower is on the side of Fruit C, so they're going to have to make a lot of headway if they want to get back into this mid.
And I'm just looking at the paint, like, it doesn't look like a single inch of mid isn't blue right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they've gone into plat, and, you know, towers reset to mid, but they don't really have that control.
Yeah, and as Fruity's pushing back into mid, they go 3 down again. Lots of other groups is holding their control and abusing their map control, really.
Really good pick from that Rapid Blaster. But the Krakon's just holding W. You can go for the jump here. You see that he's placed a beacon back there. Really nice beacon spot. You know, if you want to steal that for your X ranks.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be in this position against the Roller. They can just swim wherever they want. There's no way to tell where they're going to pop up here. Like that, but the Junior does find the take as they show up in front of them.
Yes, Splatsville are dropping like flies right now, but, you know, control of that tower, it's, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah, the tower's
Fruity is
finally back mid.
well, that's one way to go back to spawn.
Yeah, but the tower is moving, and Fruity is getting the points. Oh, but just as they
No
say that
longer.
pushing them out.
Fruity just not able to hold on to the lead. An unfortunate error. Unforced error coming out from Fruity, making that fall. But still managing to keep it 3-3. And even 2-3. Getting 2 picks onto Splatsville. And pressuring Maito over here. He's in trouble. That Ultra Stamp is coming towards him.
Yeah, I mean, the tower's finally back in mid after being on the side of Fruity for so long. So maybe they'll get the push here. But they go 3 down again. Finals out of group, just finding the pick that they need onto these brushes.
The first checkpoint has not been touched by Fruity. Meanwhile, Splats will have gotten all 3. It just shows the state of this match. While it might seem like the fighting is going on a lot in mid, Splatsville are just doing an amazing job at making pushes and locking just all the major choke points of this match down.
Yeah, as I was saying before, Manta Maria is a very snowballing map. So once Splatoon out of group got down that second checkpoint pretty easily, I kind of knew that they're going to get even more points after that. And it gets to show why Fruity's struggling to get this first checkpoint even. As Splatoon out of group has just had the whole time, they just had all of mid painted, and they can't push into anything.
Well, we'll see what Fruity can do here in overtime. Looks like they're going to be frantically touching tower here, but it's game over. Splatsville just dominating on the new Monte Maria. Looks like they've really scrimmed this map. And they felt comfortable here. Definitely.
Yeah. Just as Fruity got back into mid as well, overtime kicks in, and they only need to get that player on tower. It was a hilarious strategy though. You just saw the brush running around there at the end.
Yep. The brushes, yeah, it's a double brush. You know, we normally see it with Octo and Ink, but double ink brush, different types. I'd really love to see the interesting comps coming out here from this tournament. We'd never see that in a Lugia match.
Yeah, I've never ever seen it in the regular tournament.
It is just, the matches we're getting, we're already seeing what the meta here is formed, but we're seeing teams bring out just the weird and wacky.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything to learn from this tournament, it's that
still no Luna.
It is good. Crack-On's flat roller is the weapon of the tournament, I think.
Crack-On and Viper, we're seeing a lot of. I don't know if it's banned, but we're not seeing a lot of Stamper. I'm pretty sure it's banned. It's got to be banned.
I think it's banned. It has to be.
It's got to be banned. It is.
I should know this. I run the tournament.
It is banned. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
We're really seeing the Viper, that high mobility, really good quick respawn. I would dare even say better than Dark Tetra. Though it does come down to the player, right? I feel like Dark Tetra gives you more leeway, but I mean, just take a look at Arashi, right? Quick respawn, that is its role, the Viper, and teams are doing this really well. But no Vipers that match. Crack-On roller really taking the main stage, really showing that this new weapon has what it takes to be a nice off-meta pick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's focused on the 96, which also isn't banned this turn. But the roller really shining here, just getting the picks they need onto the brushes too. You have to getting close to get the kills.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more 96 Gal Deco.
Yeah, we saw Bounce pull it out in one of the previous matches and do really well with it too.
Definitely, it's right now it's like a pseudo 52 in this tournament. Able to have that wall and play exactly like the 52, but with that Crack-On, Next map's gonna be controversial though. I believe it is Undertow Spillway.
Yes. Yeah, here it is.
Ooh, Undertow Rainmaker. I love casting Undertow Rainmaker. It's such a awesome it's such a great Rainmaker map to commentate. You have we'll expect teams to go with the if we're gonna look here, like the left checkpoint here, going towards that more covered checkpoint. But it's, this is fine. Meta choices, meta decisions don't really happen here, and I'm excited to see how teams play this.
Speaking of off-meta picks, we have the NZAP 89 here, the Super Chump machine.
We have the Chump machine.
Yes, sir.
We have the Chump machine. Yes.
Fighting for mid. I did something that did job of fighting.
I'm gonna be just staring at my screen seeing when Chump comes out. I am so sorry. No helpful casting will be happening this game. I am joking. Ultra Stamp is coming out. Just both sides are getting really excellent picks.
Yeah, this Viper just staying alive even after all their team goes down. Oh, as I say that.
No longer. Fruity 2 down on the side of Fruity, and the Rainmaker, the Fishy, is on the side of Splat. No longer, dude. The Caster's Curse is real.
But here comes the Chump.
They're chumping! They're chumping the Rainmaker!
Chump is pushing back. That's what I did agree. They don't know what to do. They're just running away.
Teams don't really get to see, in your scrims and normal matches, you don't see Chump brought a lot. It's not meta right now, and it's super new. I don't think these teams are prepared for the madness that Chump induces.
Yeah, really just converting that 2-down situation into a checkpoint, which is huge and then just goes away.
Speaking of madness, though, the Kraken really pushing back some of the members away from the Fish, allowing Splatsville to try to get this Rainmaker off that checkpoint and back into mid. Really excellent pick from the Fish, though. And he's getting chumped.
Chumping the Rainmaker, hoping to push them.
A really excellent choice. Chump has a lot of area denial. Especially against the Rainmaker, which is really hard to take it out with its insanely low fire rate. It's going to be an excellent tool to push people who have the Rainmaker off or dead, right?
Yeah, and here comes Fruity Special. We're looking to make another push here. The Viper just goes in there and gets to pick up the Jet Pusher, I believe.
That Viper has no fear, and understandably, really just, it gets one, gets out, dies. But the Inkbrush getting another one in Fruity, managing to make some picks, even as they go 2 down. It's a lot closer of a match.
Yeah, only 60-71 here after 3 minutes of gaming. Fruity definitely has the advantage. Like Splatoon items from the last game, they just held mid, they're holding mid down, using their special, getting kicked when they lock in. Looking to make another
really great specials. Fruity they've thought about what they wanted to bring here, especially for this map in mode. Killer Whale is so good on that more hallway, close quarters checkpoint that Splatsville is trying to push out of. And as we said before, the Chump is good as well, but we can't take away from what this Brush is doing. This Brush is single-handedly just winning the game. He is winning, son.
Down the members of the Splatoon item group after running into 2 of them.
Definitely. Some just insanely aggressive comp coming out here from Fruity. I love harping on the comp. And with that, just that Rainmaker's gonna try, doesn't get to the uninkable and actually dies just a little bit off a checkpoint. And now it looks like Splatsville will not go for the reset, but will instead decide to manually push this and actually gets the mid without being chumped or killer whaled. So this is a really good, might be a really good push coming out here from Splatsville. But those pot shots coming out there from the Hydra shuts that down. No chance of that happening, and 2 going down the side of Fruity. This could be map.
Yeah, I mean, that solo range is really dangerous for Fruity. As you can see, Splatoon items doing the counter they want. Also going 2 down, even with the Kraken doing as much as they can. All the specials coming out from Fruity in the last 20 seconds of the game here, just defending this Rainmaker, not letting it touch the checkpoint at all.
Really just like ultra denial on the Rainmaker. I don't know if you saw it, but Chump came out. The Inkbrush, one of the Inkbrush has a special. They're just gonna play wait. They're gonna wait and play. Clue.
Kraken's
Gonna
not
wait,
almost had
let
it.
the time run out, and that's game. And it's tied now.
Oh yeah, a
Fruit Tea,
1-1 in
Fruit Tea
playoff
showing that they've planned, they've thought,
Mhm.
they've brought these comps with a purpose. Every decision Fruit Tea has made with that team comp was high tailored for that map and mode, and it really showed in that
Yeah,
match.
the chumps just came out on offense and on defense, just constantly pushing the members of Splash Squad to get back.
You know,
It's a
I
huge
asked for it.
victory.
I asked for the chump, and I got the chump.
Yeah, we got the they.
Is
we
it
asked, we
Christmas?
delivered.
It looks like Christmas right now. Because I'm getting the presents I want. Now we just need to see a Luna Blast or Neo. But it's never
Oh, this is so
happened.
fun.
Fruit Tea tying it up here as we go into the final, the deciding match, the deciding map right here. And it's our favorite stage. We saw it a lot in SAC earlier. Can you guess what it is?
No.
Inkbot Art Academy! Woo!
Sarcasm or like
At least it's not Splatoons.
You know, yeah.
We're gonna see the Clam Blitz, an interesting mode on this map, which is always fun. That's what you get with these map lists. You get some interesting modes and maps, and still no Clam Blitz Mahi, but you know.
It's no plan with mine, but it's interesting.
But it is interesting, and we're gonna have a really good deciding game on our hands. Inkblot, everybody knows Inkblot. It's why teams counterpick this map over and over again. While it might be on Splat Zones, it's still a tried and true map. One of the more popular maps in 2, and coming back in 3 and really showing where its home is.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what teams bring on this because
I expect a ZNF.
Yeah, exactly. Ink strikes, just ink strikes.
Ink strikes, and having that charger. You know, without being able to have that E leader, the ZNF is going to have all that more power. It doesn't have to deal with getting outrange, right? So the main reason you don't see Splat Chargers being brought anymore is because they just simply get overshadowed by that E leader. But this is fine. This is TIF. This ain't no looting. This ain't no SAC. There ain't no E leader anymore. And I can
I would
see
love
bring
to
a
see more
season
chumps.
ZNF. I don't expect to see a chump.
Really?
I don't.
But there it is.
I've been proven wrong. There's
Oh, we
the
see
the
two
new
together.
96 gal being brought out on the site of Splatsville Idol, and no ZNF.
Interesting. You have the heavy instead.
A good weapon has great range, you know, for a splat lane. Of course, that's
Well,
its
maybe
job.
that's kind of what they wanted. You know, they saw the chumps and they're like, we're gonna bring a wave breaker. And what are you gonna do about it?
Definitely, and also Splatling is known for firing fast. That's its main thing, and it'll be able to deal with these chumps super well.
Yeah, the chump just goes into the wave breaker and dies immediately.
Meanwhile, the ZNF really just, you know, slow firing, can't do a lot against that chump. So really great picks from the sides, from both sides here, to deny the chumping that might
Now
happen.
going for Fruity, the Kraken just washing up their flat and like just spitting on them probably.
Definitely probably a Kraken play right there, but I mean, we can't escape Crab. I see Crab up there in the top right.
Ooh.
We're gonna...
Unable to convert the 3 down. They're having to run away with the football.
We see that the 96 gal has super. We could see a Kraken come out here. We're gonna see some... And there it is. Taking mid all for itself. It will gobble up Fruity. Not really, only gets one. But
Almost 3 down. The Hydra barely dodging it.
gets the other one. There is no surviving, but that was a good distraction.
Wait, Fruity scored!
Fruity scored! It might have just been 1 point, 1 clam, 1 power clam has gone in. Which, of course, gives the pity clam, but
Do that.
just totally I thought we were seeing 720 spin over there. That sneaky play. But overall, it's still just a battle for mid.
They're looking to make another push here. Splatoon out of group just stuck in their flat with the Hydra just shooting down in the brush walking in here. Through the other people.
Definitely a really good pick here on this map because that stairs, that's a really heavy choke point. But you know, Brush can just say no, you ice speed, and
Push walking in. 7-10 as well, getting the pick in the try as well. Walking into the Kraken, but just barely avoiding it. And getting the pick after.
Freety, you know, this just seems like different from map 1. They're showing a whole different side to themselves. They've kept control of mid for like the majority of this match. Splatoon has not been able to get in, and I mean, one down on each side, more down, two down on both sides.
Trying to gonna get away maybe? And get their drinks out as well.
Soda has been popped. This is where the party starts.
It's picked up by the Hydra. I'm hoping this game doesn't end in the 8100. Because both teams have been playing pretty well.
Both teams have been playing excellent. Splatsville putting on a really good defense, but Fruity, you know, it's an immovable object meeting an impenetrable force. And it's just neither side seems to come up on top, but Fruity did they get that one power clam in. So
yeah, it's really Splatoon, and I want Splatoon I would to get the push in here.
Oh,
as I'm saying that the
try going insane.
Kraken going in as well. Their push here is ready, finding a pin in the wiper as well.
That is 3.
What's the football?
The Quadra!
Quad. But there's no
and yet they still won't get a point. Look at that. They get nothing from that.
Fruity just pushing out the other members after the try get the quad for them. Fruity just having an amazing defense against the other members. Getting back. Here comes the Kraken.
No, they have gotten mid, and there's a lot of clams that Trump is there to try to stop that power clam from going in, but it is no use. And there it is. There's the leads from Splatsville. This could be it. This could be the match.
Yeah, finally, the football goes in, but it's not enough points. Splatsville out of group only needs one football. Or no, sorry, excuse me. Fruity only needs one football in order to get the lead here.
And they have that. There's that pity clam. Snuck back in there, just tempting Fruity to push, and it could be again be the decider, but 5 seconds left. They're gonna grab that pity clam, start overtime.
It is a 3v3 going to overtime. The Hydra pulled the 3 of them, but all their teammates are gone. The Hydra group just cleaned them out. With Hydra all alone. Only half overtime left here.
Their teammates have managed to still jump in. It might be really close, but if that Hydra can push, there is no time.
The woes.
Splatsville, you know, they showed that immovable force, that impenetrable force is too much. It broke through the shield. The spear broke the shield, and Fruity's defense finally fell in the end.
Yeah, you gotta commend Fruity's tenacity though. Even after getting wiped out by a try, they still came back and defended their basket for at least another minute.
Definitely. Most teams would have, you know, crumbled after that. You know, a quad from the Tri-Novo is, you know, that should be the nail in the coffin, but Fruity stood up and they made an insane defense afterwards. It still didn't, you know, Splatsville found that opening and got in and did eventually get a power clam off of that, leading to their win, but just Fruity showing that they are not a team to be messed with and will be a powerhouse moving forward in this tournament.
Yeah, at the very end there was the Kraken that got them in, I believe. Just causing havoc on their plat in order for the ball to walk up and score.
Definitely, the chump couldn't, you know, we saw Fruity pop a chump in response as well. Just both sides using these new specials, 1.5 new specials, to their fullest here, really pushing it, and this is why this is fine. It's such a great tournament right here. Really showing what these teams can do when they don't have the pressure of fighting against a Splash or an E-Leader. They don't have to make these, how can I beat the meta picks?
Yeah. And with that, I think we're gonna take a small break before our next match, and we will see you then.
Alright, I'll lead us in since you don't want to, apparently. Hello, we are the new commentators. New commentator, jump scare, boo. I'm Weef, and I'm joined here by Pinky, and we're gonna be taking you to the end of this tournament. Are you excited, Pinky?
I mean, I'm definitely excited to see this. It's an off-meta tournament. Meta stuff is banned. Meta stuff is cringe, after all. Playing to win is very boring, in my opinion. So, I mean, just play to have fun, be a little goofy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Super excited. Looks like we are getting into Octopi versus Hold Forward. We are going to be starting out on, I believe, Splatzone's Wahoo. Are you excited for this pole action?
Dude, I'm so excited for this Wahoo pole action. We might see some pole dancing in the middle, and I'm thrilled to see it. But we're getting right into it here. Battle time between Octopi and Hold W here, as I believe we are still in the full stage. Gonna be starting things off on Wahoo zones. And I mean, let's just take a look at what these teams are cooking. Wiper wasn't banned. Sea Junior wasn't banned either. Very interesting.
Oh, we see a Snipe Rider along with a Tentabrella. That is super interesting and incredibly awesome. L3D making one of our friends very proud here, along with the Clashmaster Neo. Sea Junior on the side of Octopi, you're seeing a relatively meta comp, which is lame. No, it's not. It's fine.
No, it's not. It's lame.
I'm feeling a little bit goofy right now. I sincerely apologize. We are seeing 2 and 2 down on the zone, going into Octopi's favor here at first. And the Octopi looks like they're going to continue to get quite a few picks here and hold more. I don't know.
I mean, it seems to be that Octopi is the one that's holding W at the current moment, because Hold W really can't do much to stop this with the comp they have. I mean, they're just running pretty limited weapons. They're trying to get juiced up here with that beautiful soda here. Tato on the Snipe Rider trying to make some magic happen, but the tent goes down right behind him, and that's absolutely brutal for them because, I mean, tent is pretty annoying on this zone, but Hold W starting to get some picks. There's 2 dead on the side of Octopi. Starting to slowly move into zone, but this comp just does not have a lot of paint right now, which is detrimental on zones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's especially on, Wahoo zones, big zone, circular zone makes things quite interesting. It actually looks like we've been calling it out wrong. It looks like yellow is a hold forward, and they have been holding forward. Looks like we are approaching the 10-point mark, and unless Octopi can pull something out here real fast, this game is going to be over quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a final contestant in the zone, and it is going to go in favor of Octopi, I believe. So, yeah, we're just going to get right into it. But Octopi 3 dead right now. It's just the Snipe Rider left alive, and Yellow's going to get that cap right back, right quick, and already holding forward once again.
Yeah, they're living up to their name spectacularly. This Charger is so good compared to the other one, and we're seeing that work out. They almost have their Tri-Strikes charge, which is pretty notable because they'll be able to continue their hold there, but the vacuum coming out from the side of Octopi along with the Super Chump's gonna make zone, sitting on zone, a little bit difficult here.
Yeah, and I mean, hold forward, not getting spooked by the Super Chumps, but still forced to back up a little bit. Here come those Tri-Strikes onto the zone, gets a nice pick onto the Snipe Rider there, and I mean, already hold forward, or hold W back in it. It's just the Clashmaster left alive, left alone, trying to make magic happen, gets taken out by all the teammates, and hold W I mean, just absolutely been dominant in this game so far. 8-89 right now, and hold W almost threw that penalty there. It's about halfway there, so things are looking dicey for Octopi.
Yeah, like you said, penalty is almost done. Only about 10 seconds left on the board until hold W KOs here. And since they are so far forward on the plat, it's going to be really difficult for Octopi to get back in. A few seconds left, and that is going to be the KO from hold W in this first match, or in this first game.
Yeah, first game cleanly going to go to hold W here. Just had such a strong control right now, and Octopi running a very limited comp, just not really able to, do anything against that. There's not a whole lot you can do with a Snipe Rider or a Clash Neo, but that's the nature of the game we play.
Octopi has a massive roster that we're looking at right here. That's certainly chonky. But we've seen so far, like we said, Hold W running a comp that isn't meta by any means, but is certainly more meta than what Octopi was running. Octopi kind of struggled, not a whole lot of synergy in their comp, not a whole lot of aggression. The tent is a severely limited weapon in this game just because sometimes it decides to not work. Sometimes the one-shots are not one-shots. It's super unfortunate and also stifled quite significantly by its kit.
I mean, look, Beacon is good. Ink Vac good in theory. It's just Ink Vac is bad, and I feel like that's the case for a lot of bad specials. It's like, yeah, I see this, it works, it makes sense, and then it sucks. But I mean, again, that's just the game we play, and it looks like the game we're going to be playing for Game 2. It's going to be happening on Tower Control Sturgeon. Weef, what are some of your thoughts on this stage?
I would try to predict what we'd be seeing here, but I don't know if this tournament. I don't know if that's something I can do in this tournament based on how wacky and goofy the picks can be here as we go forward. I mean, the Clash Blaster that we saw on the side of Octopi could be returning. I mean, blasters are kind of a staple in Tower Control. It's not too often that you see a team that runs a blaster not run a blaster on Tower. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. But we're getting right into it very, very shortly.
I mean, I can tell you for sure, I'm predicting that there will not be any splashamatics or splatter shots or anything of the sort in this game. Just personal prediction.
Thank God.
Let's see if I'm right on this one. We do see the Splat Dualies and the Tri-Stringer come out from Hold W, and Octopi gonna be running the, same old comp.
I forgot that they were running a Sniper Rider. Sniper Rider is also a very interesting weapon. I thought it was going to be pretty decent when it first came out, but it really struggles with a lackluster kit along with a main weapon that doesn't necessarily justify it. So we're going to see here who takes this winning team fight. Looks like Octopi already, though, has the tower, at least for just a little bit. Hold forward, though, or Hold W, is going to go 2 down, which is going to allow Octopi to push even further here.
Man, I remember when I first saw the subline on Sniper Rider, I thought it was going to be Splash Wall. I was so happy. I was like, this thing's going to be sick. Then they give it Sprinkler, and I'm like, well, that's fun. But looks like a lot of fun is going to be had by Octopi here, clearing that first checkpoint pretty handily, and camming on this Clash Blaster up on the spinner area, being very annoying to contest, but just gets taken out right quick by that Wiper. And looks like looks like Hold W is going to get that control back from Octopi. Octopi still had a solid push down to 53, but Hold W has so much map control right now.
Yeah, it's they are living up to their name once again. I feel like that's a joke that is gonna get severely overused in this set. Likely the Sniper Rider got a pick, and they are putting a decent amount of pressure on the tower here. However, this bow is going to come out and cause them to back off quite a little bit if the bow doesn't get backed off themselves here. It's just a big back to neutral, basically. The big team fight in mid is going to determine who is going to be able to push off of this as the tower returns to mid.
Yeah, Bo's going to run away just for safety. And I mean, Hold W still has not been able to hold W enough to break that checkpoint, but now Octopi is 3 dead. Dualies and the Bo are the last remaining. Killer Whale is going to come out probably on that 10, which was the last alive. And Hold W going to go for a second shot at this checkpoint here, at this first checkpoint. Relatively not that difficult to break, and it looks like they're going to do just that. That's past checkpoint 1, but the bow goes down very quickly here, and there's only 2 left on the side of Hold W to defend this tower. Wiper just respawned, probably going to jump in soon, but that's going to be Octopi defending it for now and having control of the tower themselves.
Yeah, special starting to come out. We see a Tacticooler, which is going to allow Octopi to move forward and not worry too much about dying. I believe we saw a hammer from that L3D come out. Not sure if that exactly did anything, but it looks like the L3D, along with the Tenderella on the side of Octopi, are going to go down, which is going to cut their push a little bit short. They were approaching getting some more points there, but I don't think they quite made it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, almost got a few more points on the tally just for good measure, but it's going to be Hold W trying for just that. Hammer is going to get a nice kill on that Sniper Rider there right off the bat. But Hold W is actually going to lose control of that tower there, but they do still have quite a hardy numbers advantage at the favor. That's going to be the Ink Vac being absolutely destroyed by the Wipers, what Sultana does so well. Sultana gets the pick on the Hammer as well, absolutely fiending off of, not being banned in this tournament, and that's going to be the lead going in the favor of Hold W.
And Hold W is continuing to Hold W. Never mind. I got punished for making that joke yet again. Looks like they're...
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, commentator's curse to the side of being punished for being a silly little guy. It looks like Octopi is going to be able to have a chance to push again if they play their cards right, but Hold W is still in mid, still exerting pressure and still making it so it will not be a cakewalk to get this lead back.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, Hold W is just absolutely fine with defending, but they have to defend for quite a while, for a full minute and a half, and yeah, that's going to be 2 dead. Bo not going to be able to get the pick on the L3D with the hammer, and Octopi actually approaching that point marker again, getting close to that second checkpoint, getting close to that lead, just has to hold on to that tower a little bit longer. Sniper Rider gets taken out by the Clash, able to get the pick, and we just see all of Octopi swarming around this tower.
Oh.
2 of them are dead. There's 2 left by the tower. The last one dies. Sniper Rider forced to run with their life, and Octopi barely misses out on getting that lead from Hold W.
The unparalleled aggression out of that Wiper is truly impressive. Basically getting, I think they had a triple there at one point, and they were chasing that Sniper Rider to the ends of the earth here, and now the Octopi is still 3 down, only that Clash left. That Sniper Rider just respawned, and that Clash can't do all too much by itself as it does go down. Unfortunate reality of going into a fight alone here. Chomps are going to make it so where Hold W is going to have a bit of cover here, and they are rapidly approaching this checkpoint, about to clear it here and making it through. That is a wipeout for Hold W on Octopi, which is going to seal their victory and give them the second game in the set. I believe that is game 2. I mean, I think that's set.
Wipeout, knockout, and shutout. Hold W gonna go up 2-0. It is a play all 3 set as is usual, but I mean, Hold W positioned themselves really well, effectively winning this set against Octopi. The best Octopi can do is play for differential, but you're bringing a crayon to a gunfight, so I mean, that's the reality of picking Clash Blaster in this game, unfortunately.
Which is so sad.
I'm sure casuals don't mind, though. You know.
Oh god, that's true.
Some people really don't like Clash Blaster, and for those people, I say hold backwards.
And yeah, in this, it's a sad world for a Clash Blaster, but to be honest, thank God. I don't know if we could. I don't know if this world could take a Clash Blaster being meta.
Yeah, I mean, Clash Blaster meta would at least be funny. I'd be down for that. And honestly, it would warm my heart to see a Blaster meta, but my heart might be warmed by this wonderful Game 3 gameplay, which is actually going to be on a Rainmaker Eeltail. What are some of your thoughts on the stage?
It's narrow. It's cramped. It's narrow. It's long. It's a snake. It's a spaghetti noodle. It's a ruler.
It is a wet spaghetti noodle. The stage.
Why did you say it like that? You were so weird.
I don't know. I'm a little quirked up. It's a little quirked up on a Saturday.
We see Hold W sticking with their comp already. Just going for it, but looks like Octopi might be deviating from what I just learned is the challenge comp. So, wahoo, I guess. Anyway, this is a map that's going to play really interestingly. It's one of the only Eeltail maps that has that ramp anymore, which is interesting. You can, choose to go through the slick and endure and push through that really. It's basically a gauntlet there. If you don't throw enough specials at it, if you don't throw enough bodies at it, you're not getting through that slick. Or you can go around for a slight detour, but in the end, a much safer option.
Yeah, I feel like as time goes on, more and more teams are opting to push around that right side, which, I mean, honestly makes the map changes of Eeltail a bit more tragic. I mean, they got rid of the ramp. Very, very sad, but hopefully this gameplay here is going to make me very, very happy as we get into Game 3 between Octopi and Hold W. See any comp changes we have whatsoever is going to be the Nautilus and the double zap comp coming from Hold W. Octopi finally switching on the Jets a little bit with their own very fun comp here, including a Neo Sploosh brought by Cammy.
Yeah, Octopi finally giving up that challenge comp as they realized they probably were not going to be able to win with it. Hold forward, though, deviating from the norm, running double zap. They're going to have a lot of paint on their side to support that Nautilus and that Wiper. Even though the Wiper is self-sufficient in paint, it's going to appreciate that. Already we see some chumps going out, but Octopi is going to pick up the Rainmaker and go ahead and get a push going. Now that they are free from the shackles of that challenge comp, it looks like they are rearing to go and showing what they're made of.
Yeah, it looks like they've been wanting to go like this for quite a while, and I mean, now they have the chance to. We just see Cammy just absolutely zipping around the map, here, there, and everywhere with Sploosh-O-Matic. Just such a fast weapon, the fastest swimmer in the game by a mile. So, it's so fun to just zip around and Cammy taking full advantage of it. Hammer Throw not going to quite find the pick on the Tato here, and Octopi is still behind, getting that Rainmaker further, even all the way down to 36, and Hold W, I feel like they just can't feel safe right now with all these beacons all over the map.
Yeah, no, having a bunch of beacons in the lab just definitely shakes your mental, even if they're not necessarily being jumped to. Just knowing that you could be attacked from any angle is going to make you play a lot more slow, and, it's either play slower or risk getting flanked like this Rainmaker is. This Sploosh coming out of nowhere, you know, taking full advantage of their beacons and just being an absolute rat, moving around, surviving against all odds before finally being taken down, but causing a lot of chaos before they did.
I mean, that's the Sploosh way. You just run around, jump in, just be annoying, and then if you die, who cares? You're just back and you do it all over again. Just rinse and repeat. But right now, looks like Hold W wants to rinse and repeat the W's they've been getting the past few games, taking it right to that checkpoint after getting a stark numbers advantage, and they're getting pretty close to that lead. A lot of the members are juiced up here by that tactic cooler. Looks like the Nautilus is going to be the one to grab the Maker and just take it, trying to run it for that lead. Not quite going to get it, though, I think. I think it's going to be stopped a point short, but Hold W still there, has that Rainmaker. There's that lead in their favor, going right for that knockout. Going to be stalled at 7 here, but they're still there trying for this pop.
This hardly feels like Splatoon 3 Rainmaker. It feels more like Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 1 with how fast this has been going. This lead has been, you know, it goes to show how unsafe a lead is even in this game, with both of these teams playing super, super aggressive here.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Hold W already back in there, holding W's to their heart's content. There's that Rainmaker in their control once again. They just have to get that knockout, but they're not able to get it there. Still so close. The Wiper is the last alive for Octopi here. And it's just a Wiper battle. It's going to go in favor of Hold W, and so is the game. 3-0 over Octopi. Even after they switch off the challenge comp, Hold W just proven that it's truly hard to stop a well-coordinated team that holds forward.
Yeah, but much better showing there from Octopi, and it was these games were pretty definitively in Hold W's favor, but they did give a great showing against Hold W, but this is once again a very overused joke, but Hold W just held forward too much. The aggression could not be stopped.
I feel like you're killing that joke a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you.
You're also making it. You don't have any room to talk.
You've been saying it so much. I mean, it's just...
You've been saying it more.
It's honestly so sad to see a wonderful joke die, but...
What's a Weef Pinky commentary do without some classic bickering? Anyway, that's gonna be it from that set, and we're gonna be waiting eagerly for our next one. I'm guessing we are going to go into a short break, and we will see you right back in a few minutes.
Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Fine. I'm Broken Pinky, joined here by Weef, and we are going to be taking a peek at these two teams. Weef, why don't you tell us a bit about these team names?
Well, we're seeing on one side we're seeing Hot Cocoa, on the other side we're seeing Yippee! As we go into it, Yippee, of course, very enthusiastic, hopefully, about this next match, but Hot Cocoa, nice and warm and cozy, might snatch it away from them if they're not careful.
I mean, Yippee does get to play Fortnite and drink cola, which I would imagine make very excited, but I'm curious about how excited they're going to be about this Game 1 map mode, which is going to be Clamblitz on Manta Maria. Weef, what are some of your thoughts on this stage?
No thoughts, head empty. I've played this map like 2 times. My thoughts are not solidified yet, but I mean, we'll see how it goes here, which will form my opinions a little bit more. Like I said, haven't seen enough gameplay, haven't played enough on it. I mean, I've heard it's pretty good. It seems pretty good. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be pretty good, unless you have any opinions.
It does seem really good. I will say I played on this map mode 1 time, and it was in a scrim, and we won that game in the scrim. So therefore, this is the best map mode in the game. It's pretty much that simple. Weef, you were also there for that scrim, so you should agree with me pretty handily with that one.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have memory loss.
We screwed
No,
Moonrise
I
like 2
think
days
I
ago.
might. Don't worry about it.
We screwed Moonrise like 2 days ago, my guy.
Don't even worry about it. I mean,
worrying about
like this is a map mode where you have options. You can flank around. I believe Clamblitz has the block that you can swim up, which allows you to get into the enemy's court. It allows you to flank around, come at some different angles, but you can also go around the right side and make that jump. Don't fall, please.
Make the gamer jump. Please don't fall.
I speak from experience.
Oh my god. Weef does not know how to do the gamer jump. This is so sad.
I am so bad at this game, but
This is why
these
you're a
players,
commentator.
these players hopefully are not going to be as bad as I am as we go into it. We see I see some pretty recognizable players on the side of Hot Cocoa here. I believe it's it could be a little bit of a pickup versus Yippee, who all have the same team tag, unless those are aliases. They might have a bit of an advantage of having some pre-formed synergy.
I mean, they definitely have the enthusiasm over that. And I mean, with Clans Manta, you just have so many options to move. You can really just take advantage of your enthusiasm. You can just get all over the map, zips off everywhere, climb without blocking the left side that is finally there. You have options in and around the bunker. By the mass, you can get some nice schmovin' and some nice mix-ups on people. Just trying to bait as much as you can. I feel like Manta, I don't know, I liked it in 2. I like it a lot more in this game, especially on Clamblitz. It's a solid map. It's a pretty solid map. I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, being a good map in this stage is a very low bar. You just have to beat some of the truly awful ones in this game. So, I mean, it has a flank route. That's a win in my book. It's not mincemeat. That's a win in my book. It's pretty. It's got some nice aesthetics. The water looks fine.
It wasn't murders to the ground like Mahi and Hammerhead. That's good in my book.
True. Well, I mean, in some of the modes, they removed the block, which is real sad. But, I mean, not too much loss there.
Them's the breaks. It's Splatoon 3. You take what you can get. And, I mean, both these teams are going to be trying to take what they can get as we go into this set here in round 5, duels between Hot Cocoa and...
It didn't even pick up, but I'm glad, because I'm sure it sounded absolutely terrible. From the
I'm
side...
so sad. I'm crying.
From the side of Hot Cocoa, we see a heavy, some dualies, a brush, I believe a crack-on roller, and Yippee's bringing out the Wiper, bringing out the 96 Scout, the Zekofin, and the Vanilla, not 96, Vanilla Enza.
Yeah, the 96 Deco online here. We got a Kraken battle on the boat. So, I mean, it only makes sense here. It's the ship stage. You got to have this Kraken action over here, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. We already see Yippee being all juiced up here, trying to fight up this crab tank. Viper's trying to get some angles on this mast here on it. Does actually get the pick on the crack-on roller here. Gonna try to drop it and find these dualies here, but we're just in a general, traditional Clamblitz and neutral stage.
Yeah, some people like to describe Clamblitz as turf war as extra steps, where you're just trying to push up as far as you can, and you just really need that map control all the way up. And I mean, that's kind of what these players are doing right now, playing it safe, just trying to win team fights, trying to gain as much control as they can without, losing their hide. And right now, Yippee is moving in, getting picks, but they are going to get taken down 2 down themselves.
Yeah, Yippee not quite able to make it to that basket, but they still do have quite a lot of clams at their possession for making a potential push. Octopus is going to pop that Zipcaster. The Kraken is going to come right for that Charger's head, and yeah, this Kraken is positioning under the basket, going to try and give jumps to the
We know
teammates.
it's coming.
Yeah, the ball is going to come right
Well.
over here. Not actually a ball jump, but still going to be coming, and that's going to be Hot Cocoa breaking that basket.
Yeah, that was really interesting. The Kraken came in, made space, but there weren't even any players focusing on them in order to get that jump in. We see a Crab Tank coming out, but they are going to get pressured out just a little bit. And it looks like Hot Cocoa, they're 3 down, but that push was pretty good just for this early on.
Yeah, definitely a push to 62 is pretty solid, but notably, I feel like the 60-point threshold in Clanless is pretty important because that's the defense against 2 power clans. This Hammer, though, gonna get 2 kills and looking for a third, not quite able to get it before they go down, but that clears open a lot of space for Yippee to rush forward with unburdened enthusiasm here, and I think a Kraken got popped somewhere. We can't quite see it from the point of view of the Heavy, but still, a lot of pressure is being applied onto Hot Cocoa here right now.
Yeah, Yippee, though, is going to get taken 2 down, ending their push quite early, and giving Hot Cocoa just a little bit more room to breathe as they come out here. Heavy going to be moving into mid and applying a lot of pressure. Kraken going to be moving in, and it giving, free value out, getting a pick, and I believe that is going to be the clam basket broken once again. They're already starting to score some points, all the way down to 40 after getting a super clam in, and with these picks that are coming out from this crack-on roller, the clams are just going to keep on coming.
Yeah, all the way down to 32 right now for Hot Cocoa. More clams are going to be grabbed right now. There's 3 at their disposal. The basket's probably going to close before the Octopus can get there.
Ooh, the collat.
That's a collateral, and that's going to be the basket closing on Hot Cocoa. But still, 3 minutes into the game, and Hot Cocoa is leading the score quite handily, 68 points, compared to Yippee, who's not broken the basket once.
Yeah, Yippee really is going to have to quarter up and say Yippee as they, keep their mental up in this game. It is not over until it's over, and if this Viper can get a nice pick on that Crab Tank, that could certainly change the tides. Unfortunately, Hammer is a special that only barely exists in this game, and they are going to get taken out while using it. Hot Cocoa breaks the basket once again, putting an immense amount of pressure on Yippee, and it looks like they have the clams to make this a more sustained push if they want to pop their specials and use them wisely.
I mean, here's that Kraken coming up from Meta Wing, trying to get some funny picks. It's actually going to get a pick on a stamp and jump off the map themselves, which is very humorous, but it only leaves the 96 gal alive for Yippee, and Hot Cocoa just cleanly breaking that basket one more time. Just has so many clams at the ready. 2 clams away from this knockout here, and I'm sure Yippee, not saying Yippee too much with the result of this game, still 1 clam away from this knockout, but let's say that clam is actually not going to come, and Hot Cocoa is going to have that basket close on them once again. Yippee technically has a second lease on life, but they essentially have to knock out here if they want to get this win.
Yeah, they live another day, but like you said, it's not much harder to get. It's kind of impressive that they were able to keep it down that low. But look at this, the clam is going to get jumped in, and that's going to be a knockout from Hot Cocoa with a lot of hot action coming from them in terms of just putting the pressure on Yippee for the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, that's just absolutely brutal game from Hot Cocoa. They just had such a commanding presence there the entire time, and that's just an incredibly well played game by them. Very solid to start things out here.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Yippee is gonna keep their mental up and turn things around here, though, in this game too. It's not over, and even if they take 1 game off of Hot Cocoa, we are in groups. If they don't win the set, they at least get a bit of a better point differential here. But we're going to be looking at our second map here, but overall, very well played from Hot Cocoa. Looking forward to see if they're going to be able to maintain that pressure as they're going to be moving on to Splat Zones, Umami Zones.
Yeah, Zones Umami is going to be coming out here. Both the new maps are in this map pool for this set, which is very interesting. Zones Umami, obviously much less familiar, but still, new map, fresh take. It's a fresh tournament. Meta's gone. All the good stuff is gone. And we're just going to be chilling here on Umami Zones, peeking at the ruins.
Notably, Umami Zones is a 2-zone map, which just kind of makes things a little bit more interesting, a little bit different than your standard Zones games. It means that 1 burst bomb essentially can grind the game to a halt if you don't have somebody over there to paint over it. It's a lot harder to get a sustained push going, but once you do, can take a while to get you out of it. Just the zone stays stalled for such a long time because if just a speck of paint lands on their zone, it's gonna get stalled.
Yeah, especially because I mean these zones are just so tiny, but they are. I mean they're at least long, so it's not like the freest thing in the world to cap as opposed to like a square zone. It's a little bit it's a bit longer. It's a bit extended. It's not as stally as your standard split zones map, but I mean at the end of the day, it's still a split zones map. I think it's fun in some aspects and really not fun in others. So definitely curious to see how it plays out, especially as time goes on in this meta.
Yeah. Yeah, and also just Umami is an interesting shaped map. You have some high ground there that isn't too powerful, but is certainly the presence is felt. In mid, notably that there's that ridge that gives you a bit of high ground, but it's hard to get up sometimes and a bit hard to back off. So we'll see how these players play on relatively unfamiliar ground, only being released a week ago, as they the tent umbrella comes out on the side of Yippee, and we see a similar but different as the from Hot Cocoa as they bring out the full special charge gold arrow spray.
I mean that's going to be a lot of booyah bombs from the Riz Grizz here, and I mean Tenderbrella is going to from the side of Yippee. Just really wall out these zones here. Actually, these zones are pretty poised for Tenderbrella. Not something we've seen since the cursed lands of Splatoon's Camp Triggerfish. Sorry for speaking those words back into existence, but it is true. Tent has another advantage here, but not an advantage that Yippee could leverage super well. And this Kraken already coming in from Hot Cocoa, meadoing, just being an absolute menace, and that's going to be Hot Cocoa getting that first cap.
Yeah, not only was that Kraken putting a lot of pressure on Yippee, those Tri-Strikes came out and were able to, really put the heat on as well. Zone is currently still stalled, but Hot Cocoa has a few points on the board. Yippee, though, coming out strong. All 4 players up are going to be able to get the cap, and we'll see here if they are going to be able to make the sustained push or if it's going to get stalled out into oblivion.
Yeah, I mean, right now, these zones can get stalled a little bit easily, but definitely not as easy as some other split zones map, like something like Undertow. But this Viper fighting for its life, forced to fall off the map, though. Metawing gonna be taking full advantage of that, but the Splat Duelists are gonna come in for the pickup there. And Yippee still has this lead, still has control of the zone right now, starting to push it down a little bit, but they're not exactly pushing forward with their advantage. They're very much respecting Hot Cocoa right now.
I mean, with their charger down, there's not a whole lot they can do. A lot of the pressure that they have on the field is gone, and that is going to be the zone going to Hot Cocoa, who are very rapidly, most likely, going to approach Yippee's lead here. It's a very narrow lead, about 10 or so points, and with how fast Hot Cocoa has shown that they can move up, it's looking like Yippee is going to have to put in a massive effort to get out of defense here.
Yeah, especially on a map like Umami, where defensive options are incredibly limited, and we're really seeing Yippee struggle with that a little bit here. That Wiper gets taken out by the Booyah Bomb mid-hammer transformation, and Hot Cocoa is just painting over the zone. Riz Grizz just being an absolute menace all the way halfway to the Booyah Bomb here, just able to chuck these out at supersonic speeds, quite frankly. Just annoy the heck out of Yippee here, because you have Booyah Bomb in your face every 5 seconds. There's not much you can do, and there's the Booyah Charge being thrown out, and Hot Cocoa is still very much contesting these zones, but not quite getting a cap one way or the other.
I mean, looks like Yippee, right as you say that, you get commentators curse. Yippee gets to the zone and are starting to work on their penalty. We see a lot of specials coming out. This tent going to use their ink back, which is going to actually prevent the zone from getting capped for quite a second. Now it is stalled, though, as these players are going to be dancing around in mid, trying to get a pick. This jump is going to get camped, unfortunately for them, but the heavy gets taken out in return, not even getting the jump camp.
Yeah, this Wiper was there, protecting the teammate, being like, I got you, bro. Gets the pick on the Slosher as well. And Yippee has quite a strong control right now, getting close to that lead of Hot Cocoa there. Stamp's going to come out. There's the lead switching. Hammer actually gets a pick on the heavy there with the throne mode. Zones are going to be contested by that Booyah Bomb, but Yippee is going to get that cap right back, and Hot Cocoa starting to struggle a little bit here. They only have so much time.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a joy to see Yippee take it back from the brink, and with only one member up on the side of Hot Cocoa and that air going down in place with the air spray, it looks like Yippee is going to be able to take this KO and make these set 1-1 in their favor.
And they said, Yippee!
Yay! Wahoo!
No, not Wahoo. This is Umami, not Wahoo.
I hate you.
I know. I try.
Yeah, no, absolutely different game we saw from Yippee. I saw that 10 putting in the work. The ink vac was surprisingly useful, as well as just the shield getting popped off and taking over the zone had a surprising amount of utility that I did not expect to see out of that weapon.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Tent be good pretty much all Splatoon 3, but I don't know, maybe it's going to be on the up and up, especially on a map like Zone Zumami. So it'll be interesting to see how the meta develops, but for now, Yippee able to take advantage of that, and now the set is tied 1-1 as we go to a game.
Yeah, we're to see what this this new map mode has to offer for us. We saw a major difference between these two map modes in terms of who was able to take it out on top. But now, as we move into Tower Control Museum del Fincino, we're gonna see who is able to take advantage of all the nuances that Tower Control brings to the game.
Yeah, Museum Dolfoncino on tower control is, I mean, it's an incredibly fun map. That spinner is in mid is a little bit awkward, but even still, it's still Museum at the end of the day. It's Museum with the block to get onto the plat as well. Makes it even better. Very fun map mode. A lot of options you can have on both offense and defense. A lot of places you can position. A lot of fun angles you can hold, and all that great stuff. It is Museum. It's probably my favorite map in this game, especially on all four modes, being extremely viable, extremely competitive. I just always love seeing the stage. I'm excited to see how these teams are going to tackle this.
Yeah, I just love how in Museum, Plat feels so open but so cramped at the same time with that spinner moving and kind of forcing you to play at different angles based on the time that you approach or how long you stay there. Defensively, you can, geographically you're only 10 or so feet away from the edge of plat, but with that barrier there, it blocks your view. It allows you to take some safe fights, allows you to rotate around really fun and go for some sneaky plays as you follow the spinner, but also just I don't know, it's very interesting, very fun, and I hope to see some great gameplay out of it.
Yeah, and we might see just that as we go into game 3 of this pools match between Hot Cocoa and Yippee.
Yay!
They're not called Yay, they're called Yippee. It's right there.
You are terrible and a buzzkill. I hate you. However,
Unbelievable.
I don't hate the comps that these teams are running. We're seeing dualies back again. Heavy out, Brush. Dualies actually from both sides. Wiper. Already we see Hot Cocoa 1 down here as Yippee is starting to take mid. However, Hot Cocoa opts to hop on that tower with a crab tank just to score a few points. They are going to get chased off the tower, but that was a very, very ballsy early push that did get them a few points on the board.
Yeah, but it seems like Hot Cocoa does not mind at all. They actually have the numbers advantage right now, lowering it down to just the charger, and that's going to be Rizgriz hopping onto this tower here. And I don't know if you guys saw, but sneak peek, Rizgriz has a lot of special charge on, so these crab tanks are going to be a fly-in, and crab tank already on that tower. Going to help Hot Cocoa easily break that first checkpoint, and they're getting close to that very decisive second checkpoint here.
Yeah, once you get to that second checkpoint, things start to cascade in your favor. And I mean, obviously, now that they're, in the lead, they're pushing the tower, they're getting some insane special advantage that can be able to use to snowball to their liking. Now, we see, there were 2 down on the side of Yippee. Hot Cocoa is starting to lose members, but with a crab tank up there on the snipe, victory is looking really good for them right now. Unless this charger can take something home, this game is going to go to Hot Cocoa. I mean, the tower is stalled right now, but the Kraken falls off the tower, but a victory is assured for Hot Cocoa as they take the game 3, earning the set in a 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much complete opposite from game 2, where it was very slow pace and Yippee was being very methodical, and then Hot Cocoa just kicked the door down and said, we're going to win this game. We're going to win it here and now, and they're going to take the set, bolstering their score just a little bit as we head into the final bracket stages after this last round of pools.
Yeah, thank God. All right. Like we said, we'll see you after a short break, heading right back into it in just very, very shortly.
And we'll be back with the last round of pools. We're almost there, guys.
Welcome back to This Is Fun, the off-meta tournament. I'm Weef, joined here by Broken Pinky, and we're about to go right into another match, the last match of pools. Finally, we're almost free. We're gonna be watching Clam Blitz Queens. That is an unexpected tongue twister. Versus Driving with Influence.
Something Dancing Queen Joker with Clamblitz Queens. I don't know.
The Clam Blitz Queens. Sorry.
Only 17.
Points left on the board after they get an amazing push. But we're not going into Claim Blitz quite yet. We're going into Rainmaker on Wahoo.
Honestly, we might see some 17-point pushes on Rainmaker because this map's really hard to push on.
Yeah, it's real interesting, especially when you kind of forget sometimes that Wahoo just kind of closes itself off half the time. It's not fun. It makes things actively worse. You have to walk over a slick to get into mid or go under the constantly rotating underside. Not a fun map. There's a reason why we don't see it in tournament pools too often, but all bets are off here. We're just going to see what these teams are running eventually. To try to counteract that, we might see some Chargers out here. I wouldn't be too surprised. I wouldn't see... I don't know. It's hard to know what to expect here when all the usual culprits are out of the picture.
Yeah, we're gonna be rocking and rolling, locking and loading as we get into game 1 of the final round of pools here. You're seeing some very interesting comps on both of these sides. Driving with Influence, rocking with Deco. Out of the classic Wiper Ink Brush comp. And Clamblitz Queens rocking a fun comp themselves with the ballpoints.
Yeah, I think this Arashi is kind of notorious for running a mean brush, so we'll definitely see how they play it. But right now, Clamblitz Queens does get a pick off, and they had the pop, so mid is painted nice and yellow here. 3 down on the side of Driving with Influence, and Clamblitz Queens is poised and ready to get this first checkpoint here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just gonna try and get the slam jam. Welcome to the Space Jam here, breaking that first checkpoint with ease, and the Clamblitz Queens still there. Have numbers advantage for now. Now it's a tied game, but still slight favor of Clamblitz Queens. Specials are going to come out. Whale's going to try to clear the path as the Rainmaker's going to be re-grabbed. Pushed a few more points before it gets taken out by that inkjet from Solus, but this is going to be Clamblitz Queens going to be going, Driving Under Influence is going to be 3 down. Clamblitz Queens.
I don't know if you're knowing, but you are cutting out just a little bit, but it's fine. It gives me more room to talk. Clamblitz Queens are 2 down. Driving with Influence are going to have the opportunity to push here, but it looks like the bridge is currently down right now, meaning that they're going to have a big fight in mid. They're going to have to make sure that before they push over here on the left, the area is clear, and right now it is most certainly not, with a lot of the members of Clamblitz Queens over there. However, the Rainmaker is getting picked, and instead of going over the left, they say, screw it, let's go right instead.
Yeah, but they're going to drop right into this carousel area, just get taken out 17 points into the push. I'm just saying, I'm a bit of a prophet.
You're not the prophet, though.
Clamblitz Queens only pushed to 17. I'm just saying. It was meant to be.
It was definitely of a certain... I don't know. I can't right now. It's been so interesting to see. Right now, the Rainmaker is in a very precarious situation for either of these teams to get it out of. It's just stuck under the carousel. If you pick it up, you're just gonna get shot from above. That's just kind of how it is, or picked off by a Fizzy, as we see here. Super Chump's going out on the field. It is gonna get picked up over here by Clamblitz Queens, and they're gonna push forward as we go.
Yeah, and we see Clamblitz Queens having that Rainmaker there, getting close to that for quite able to happen against Driving with Influence. Able to stop that checkpoint there at the last moment. Not able to just get that push. Clamblitz Queens still in this area though, but Driving with Influence is going to be the one to pick up that Rainmaker and try and bring it back in the mid, try and reset things a little bit here. Maker does get taken out by the Dually Squad, just gets a nice trade there, but still Driving with Influence has a pretty significant numbers advantage and are still moving this Rainmaker forward.
Yeah, It looks like Clem's Queens are gonna be on the up and up here, getting numbers advantage, pushing forward, trying to get some map control. But the Rainmaker is gonna get collapsed on by that Duelist Squelchers, but they kind of don't care. Looks like Driving with Influence is going to push up all the way forward. And they get wiped out for it, but that is a big push for Claimless Queens, who have so far kind of been struggling to get something going to match up to.
Yeah, Driving with Influencer moving forth hastily with reckless abandon, maybe being under the influence, perhaps, I don't know, but that's still a lead of 22, and Claimless Queen's really going to struggle to deal with this right now, especially as they haven't even broken that first checkpoint, and even still, the numbers advantage in mid is up in the air, but Claimless Queens is the one that's going to be having all that Rainmaker for now. Going to be trying to break that first checkpoint finally, but they only have a minute left in this match timer. They have to move with speed here.
Yeah, speed is the name of the game in Rainmaker. They are trying to push the way forward, but they're once again kind of getting stuck in that awkward spot in the carousel where they can just get dropped on, they can get bombs under them, and because of the way they have to move, because of the momentum of the underside of this carousel here, it's just going to be super, super awkward to hold, and Driving with Influence is already going to go ahead, pick up the Rainmaker, and start, kind of trying to stall Claimless Queens out and move their way back into mid.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Driving with Influence is just completely content to just stall things out here. They only have to wait for seconds until this game is just going to be over, and Claimless Queens is the one that has to make the first move. And even though they have to break that checkpoint and get it all the way down to 21, which is so incredibly difficult on Wahoo. And this Rainmaker timer, plenty of time left, 30 seconds, but they're going to get rushed by this Duelist Squelchers, actually be able to take out that Rainmaker here. Claimless Queens starting to file forward here. They have to get this pop on the Rainmaker. And they have to get this Rainmaker grab here. They're running out of time.
Wow.
That's going to be the pop going in their favor. They're going for this checkpoint, and they're going to break it. And things are starting to fall apart here for Driving with Influence. They have one last chance to defend this Rainmaker before it gets to 21 points. We see Claimless Queens pushing very close, or very carefully, but Driving with Influence able to catch up with them and get the defense in game one.
Yeah, Driving with Influence was starting to sweat there, but when you're in an overtime situation, you just can't afford to wait, and getting picked even once can mean that it's over for good. So Game 1 is going to go pretty solidly to Driving with Influence.
Yeah, that push down to 22 was absolutely ridiculous. Just really sealed the game away from them. Claimless Queen's not quite able to come back from that, and Driving with Influence coming out really strong in this final set of pools. This set of pools can really decide if you make gold or silver, if you don't make a bracket at all. These teams really want to get into that gold bracket if possible and just play as well as they can this late in the tournament.
Yeah, that's no badge is on the line, the greatest prize of all time. It's very, very crucial. Notably, neither of these teams are playing with that challenge composition, the composition of, I believe, it's Clash, Neo, Tent, Sniper at 5H, and L3D, and that would get you a Cinder badge of its own. So, I mean, clearly these teams value winning a little bit more than Cinder badges. Winning in its own right is a reward, but we're gonna go see how these teams play as we move on to Clamblitz Mako Mart. Pinky, what are your thoughts on this map?
I mean, Clamblitz Mako Mart is honestly the most different Clamblitz in this game compared to pretty much every other Clamblitz, because most other Clamblitz maps, you have to, like, really stall through a choke point for quite a while, and it's quite arduous to break through, and, the baskets are so far apart from each other, and then there's Mako Mart, where the baskets are literally 6 seconds apart from each other.
Yeah, it's insane. Just getting a little bit of momentum, getting a little bit of control can mean that you have a good push on your hands. Getting the control of those stacks is absolutely crucial. And I mean, I feel like the brush on the side of DWI is going to be able to cause a lot of mayhem on this map, running around the stacks, running through the lanes, all around through the courts, but we're going to have to see how it goes as we go right into it.
Yeah, they plan on just running here, there, and everywhere as we go into game 2 between Clamblitz Queens and Driving with Influence. Take a look at these comps here. Looks like Driving with Influence going to be sticking with much of the same. Clamblitz Queens bringing out the Nautilus and the V-Dapple here for game 2 on this map mode. Very
The Dapples is one of my. It's not necessarily great, but it's such a fun weapon to have on your team. Those beacons can allow some really aggressive play as well as the tactical, and allowing you to just go in and dive and not worry too much about being overly aggressive because you respawn in 0.2 seconds. Already, it just looks like this is going to be a big scrap fest in mid. Both of these teams trying to test the waters, see who can get the advantage. But right now, it looks like DWI is starting to get something going for themselves with 3 down on driving or on Clambett's Queens.
Yeah, they have a lot of. They're trying to get some clamps at their disposal for this push here. This 96 has Kraken oh so strong on Clamless, and that basket is going to open for driving with influence. Kraken is going to go in, try and open a path of its own. I believe it's just going to try and just create destruction in its wake. Kraken is going to be over though. 96 is going to get push of driving with influence, ending very early at only 74 points.
Yeah, unfortunately they were not able to get one of those large sustained pushes that Clamblitz is kind of infamous for. It's really what you would be you're wanting to see. Those small pushes, they add up over time, but it's so shaky of a lead. It can be flipped around in just a second here. But it looks like Clambett's Queens is starting to make something for themselves as they're moving more and more forward here. This Octorush on the enemy stack, just trying to annoy the heck out of the enemy team and create as much space as their team as possible before dunking this ball in. I'm wondering if their team is going to be able to follow up at all, or if the push is going to kind of fizzle out and die at any time.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff that can happen, but it is going to be the lead of clamps. Still have this basket open. Dapple has a few more clamps trying to get to that basket. It looks like a few clamps are going to be going in, getting that point total down even lower. This basket's still open, still a push to be had, but it looks like the push is going to stop right there at the 53-point marker. Sol's actually going to go down to Arashi on this Ink Rush here, and driving with influence quick on this response, already breaking, trying for that basket. Actually,
quite.
the ball misses. The ball misses the basket.
That's super unfortunate, but that is the reality. I mean, Mega Mart, it's not the easiest to get in here. You have to be super close to the basket to get it in, and your aim has to be pretty precise. But that looks like it's going to be basically marking the end for driving with influence's very short-lived push here. Big scrap going out on one of the stacks that looks like driving with influence does take out here, but they weren't able to make that push first, so they're gonna have to kind of regroup themselves, re-get their specials, regain that space if they want to make another attempt at a push and getting this lead back.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to recollect themselves a little bit because they're quite a ways away from this lead here. Kraken is going to go in, just try and cause some mayhem here. The done by itself, but the 96 is taken out very quickly afterwards, and driving with influence really struggling to get some control here right now.
Yeah, it looks like Clambett's Queens, though, living up to their name, getting another push going. Looks like that super jump is going to get in. They're all the way down to 12 points. It's only that Octobrush left alive, but that is absolutely not a push to sneeze at, and that Octobrush does manage to get one more clam in, adding insult to injury as they end their push with 9 points left on the board.
Yeah, this is looking incredibly bad for driving influence right now, but they are able to break that basket. But not a lot of players are up. It's just the 96 that has some clamps for them. More comes from spawn, and that 96 is going to die. That's going to be the push stifled very early at the 67-point mark. And Clambett's Queen defending here so well, and driving with influence misses another ball. They're very quickly running out of time right now.
Driving with influence, I don't think, even if they hit the ball, I don't think it would have had the chance to go in. That basket stays up after a push for a while, so you can't do back-to-back pushes, and I don't think that timer was quite up yet. We're seeing this Nautilus, who is very close to their special, just kind of survive on the stack here. They know that they can play kind of defensively here and still manage to take out a win because that lead, they've afforded themselves that luxury. That lead is so massive and so big that unless they make a serious blunder here, the game is looking pretty secure for them.
Yeah, right now, Clambett's Queen's just so incredibly right now. So hard. Different from, and it's just they've been playing incredibly well together right now. It's quite really that simple. And I mean, driving with influence only has about 20 seconds left to make it happen. Big chance to make something happen.
Yeah, if anything's gonna make it happen, a wipeout is going to. They end up getting this dunk in, but that's gonna be 3 down on the side of driving with influence. Their push is over before it began. That is the full wipeout with only 3 seconds left on the board, and that push going over with only the super climb in. That is gonna be game 2 going to Clam Blitz Queens once again, proving that their namesake is accurate. They are the Queens of Clam Blitz.
I mean, quite literally, they were very dominant on this mode, getting all the way down to 9 points and just stifling every push. We're going to a game 3 winner take all here.
Oh yeah. Either way, I mean the winner, is gonna have a much better chance on moving on into a higher bracket, but the loser, since it is 1-1, they're not going home empty-handed. They do get some points to their name in terms of trying to get to the higher brackets, but it is pretty important to win everything that you can here, and we're gonna see how, as we go on to this last map, these teams respond to each other, these teams learn how they have to fight against each other. It's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is gonna be one for the books. It's gonna be, winner take all, winner wins that. You do get something even if you want the win so bad. It's just such a nice advantage to have, and we're gonna be finding our final frontier here shortly between Clam Blitz Queens and driving with.
Yeah. Very, very interesting here. These teams, I don't know, they've both been pretty aggressive, not a single backline in sight. Well, I think we did see the ballpoint at one point from one of these teams, so I don't know. But driving with influence, their wiper ink brush combo, not quite. That's a comp that you think would work extremely well in Clam Blitz, but I mean, it just wasn't able to really make it work here. Super, super interesting.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go up against the Queens of Clam Blitz anyway. They just seemed so familiar with how to play that mode, even on a map that's kind of strange, as in Mako Clams.
Yeah, and it didn't even look like it was gonna go into Clam Blitz Queens. I hate it. It's such a tongue twister. Clam Blitz Queens favor in that first minute or so. Driving with influence did manage to get some points onto the board, but they just retaliated with absolute vigor there, making a great push and continuing to make great pushes throughout the game. But it looks like we got our next map. We're going to Splat Zone's Hagglefish, and I'm definitely interested to see how these teams respond to each other on this map.
Yeah, exactly, and we're going to be going into game 3 on Zone's Hagglefish, the classic, the tried and true Splatoon 3 stage. Ever since the game launched, ever since before the game launched, Zone's Hagglefish was just kind of, just always a very strong map mode. And it obviously does have that fun little pole that was most recently added to the stage, but it's still relatively untouched, still the same stage we all know and love, and the same stage that both these teams are probably very familiar with by now.
I mean, that pole was added for the ability to kind of stop some of the longer range weapons from causing too much havoc. I mean, I guess it stops some silence or something like that. I don't really know. But notably, those the crab tanks and your E-leaders aren't going to be present in this tournament. They are banned. Big thumbs down to those weapons. Not allowed. And so, I mean, it's not really going to affect anything. Doesn't really affect anything regardless, but I mean, seeing a Splat Zone's Hagglefish game without an E-leader or crab tanks is going to be certainly interesting. You kind of need those to break through mid and get up onto the enemy's plat, or to just kind of progress your control. But without those, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just the story of this tournament. You get rid of your sort of big powerhouses, and you see how you play around it in a metagame without those, and just see which team can adapt and which team just doesn't quite stack up all the way.
Yeah. I don't know. It's battle time though. We're gonna be seeing what these teams are running. If we see any comp changes that are super interesting, I mean, driving with influence most likely gonna be sticking with that wiper brush combo that we've been seeing from them from the other 2 games. But on the side of Clam Blitz Queens, we're seeing explos actually from both sides, and the brush is being traded out for a C Junior.
Yeah, definitely interesting ideas here from both these teams, but both of them know Explo is very strong on Splat Zones, very fun weapon to mess around with, and already it looks like Driving with Influence is going to be the one that has closest to a cap here. Clampless Queen's kind of struggling a bit here in this team fight. They're down 2, but they come back just as quickly. But it is going to be Driving, getting the first cap of the zone here.
Yeah, it looks like their control is pretty solid. They're going to continue moving forward. Picks trading left and right, but with these specials also going left and right, I mean, Driving with Influence was in control still, but it's not going to be for long as Columbus Queens looks like they're starting to retaliate and push forward themselves.
Yeah, they're starting to push up quite a bit, but still this zone is neutralized. Neither team has control of the zone. Lead is in the slightest of favors of Driving with Influence, but that is going to be Columbus Queens getting that cap, trying to push that zone timer down, but it's immediately being contested by just the insane output of Driving with Influence.
Yeah, and Driving with Influence, as you say, gets the wipeout. They're going to have the time to move in. Bloomin over here on the wiper going in for a bit of a dive there before going down, but buying a little bit of time for their team to get into position to try to get a great hold here. Timer ticking down. We're reaching the 50-point mark as Driving with Influence does not seem to be slowing down in the slightest.
Yeah, they're stepping on that gas pedal as much as possible, and they're still maintaining this numbers advantage. Moving forward, Wavebreaker all the way on the... And now that zone timer ticks below 30, Lambless Queen's really running out of time here, about 15 away from this knockout of this. That is going to be a trade that is absolutely in favor of Influence here. Zone is still solid.
Yeah, this poor Expo holding on for dear life, gonna get taken out, just desperately trying to stall the timer for long enough for their team to get in, but it looks like that is not going to come. Driving with Influence takes a very decisive knockout, winning the set in a 2-1 fashion.
Yeah, after 3 very decisive games, the score still very close, 2-1 in the favor of. And they're going to put themselves in a little better as we finish out the final round of pools here.
Yeah, that is, like you said, final round of pools. We are going to be moving on to bracket. Thank goodness it is finally over. Pools hell. 6 rounds of it is a very long time, but now we're going to be moving on to bracket. It is going to be single elim, but we are going to be taking a short break as we get settled. These teams are going to be getting sorted into their respective brackets, and we're going to be watching the highest one after this short break.